Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And today I want to show you the cards that I picked up at the National. And first I want to say that the National was the best experience that I've ever had at any card show. I have been to a National before, and as you know, when I used to be a dealer, I've done tons of card shows. But in this case, the best part of the show was not the cards. And that's tough for me to say because I just love the cards. But the best part of the show was meeting all of you guys, all of the YouTubers, all of the friends that I've seen, on YouTube. And, to me, you guys are friends. I've seen all your videos, and I followed you. And one of the things that I'm not going to say all the names because I will obviously forget some of you. But I was invited to the rooftop gathering of the YouTubers at the Claridge Hotel, and that was the best experience of the entire National. Even though I saw some of the most awesome cards and I picked up a lot of the cards I was looking for, but my best experience was meeting the YouTube family and everyone that has helped me along the way. I appreciate it so much. We are now, today is August 2nd. And I have now been doing videos on YouTube. This is the 7 months. I started 7 months ago. And I gotta tell you, it's been an incredible run here. Just, the people are the best. And this is a community, guys. And I gotta tell you that, as a rookie at that gathering, and I'll call it the YouTube family gathering because it was like family. It was like seeing family again and seeing people that I had never seen before. Even though I saw them on video, just seeing and talking to you guys in person was just really a dream come true. And I just want to thank everyone, all the YouTubers, everyone that was at the family gathering for accepting me as the rookie of the group. Someone that's been doing this a very short time compared to some of these guys that have been there for years, over 5 years, a lot of them. They accepted me just like they had known me for a long time. And I get emotional because it's just a great time with some of the best people I've ever met in my life. So I just want to thank each and every one of you that I met. And thank you all for accepting me into the family and being so kind, offering me everything, drinks and this and that, and just the best experience I've ever had. Just mingling and talking to you guys and talking about cards and talking about the collections. To me, that was the best experience of the entire show, even though it was an incredible show, an awesome show. And there was some stuff there that, and you've probably seen on my videos, some cards you'll never ever see again, some collections that you'll never ever see again. So I tried to film some of that stuff, especially vintage, because I'm just strictly into vintage. I do have some new cards and things, but I took most of those to trade. So without me talking too much more, I'm going to go ahead and move on and start showing you some of my pickups. So first of all, I got there on Thursday, and I stayed there all the way through Sunday. I basically walked the entire floor. I think the first day, I think my iPhone said I had walked over 8 miles. And then the other days, it was similar to that. I literally went to every single table at the show at least twice, looking for the cards that I wanted, looking at cards that I've never seen, and just going through the experience and taking in the experience. So I was there, and it was the most exciting thing. So first thing I want to tell you what I picked up, and this is a set that I've been trying to to complete. Started it when I was a kid, basically, and I needed somewhere around, I don't know exactly, but 30 to 40 cards to complete the set. So I went ahead and picked up almost all the cards I needed, except for 3 cards. And I will say that during that time, there was actually, an example, there was a dealer, and I must have spent 20 minutes going through his cards. And these are the 71 football. This is my 71 football set. The number 1 card is the Johnny Unitas, and you saw that I graded that with SGC. But all of the other ones are pretty much raw. And I'm going to show you the set completely when I'm done with it. I'm missing 3 cards now. But like I was saying, I went through the dealers. I picked up a bunch here and there. I tried to find them in great condition. As you can see, mine are really nice. And I'm going to go through the whole set at a later date once I complete it, when I get the 3 cards that I'm missing. The dealers were so kind. And there was one dealer there that I went through his box there. He had a whole stack of them. And unfortunately, after spending 15, 20 minutes, I found one common card that I needed. And when I went up to pay for it, he just said, "Don't worry about it, just keep it." So he gave me the card, and I appreciate that. And some of the other dealers were very, very nice, and they had tons of them. So I really went through and I updated my set. I only need 3 more cards to complete this set. So that was one of the pickups. I've already put the cards in the sleeves and everything, so I didn't want to just show a bunch of commons and a few guys here and there. The only one that I picked up that was a star was this one right here, which was the Joe Namath. So I did pick up the Joe Namath card that I needed for the set, and there it is. All of the other cards were pretty much just commons that I needed to complete the set. I do need 1 other star, and I'll be looking for that on the next show. But when I finished that, after I finished 3 more cards, so that was one of my goals, was to complete that set. And I'm 3 cards away, so it's close enough. I'll be able to finish that. I'm gonna probably through ComC or through one of the local card shows here. 3 more cards to go. When I finish that set, I'll show you the complete set in one of my videos. So I'm going to move on to some of the things that, the other stuff that I picked up. And some things that, you've seen a lot of my baseball cards, and you've seen some cards that I have put in my earlier videos. I have, in my earlier videos, I have this. And I've shown all of these cards already. This is the Pro Football Hall of Fame art series. It's called the Goal Line Art. And basically what this is, and you've seen this book. I have 2 of these books complete. It's the cards of when they were put into the Hall of Fame. There's 5,000 of each of these cards that are produced the same year that these players go to the Hall of Fame. And my goal in this was to get every Hall of Famer, Football Hall of Fame autograph that exists. So I've been working on this for a long, long time. And I focused on trying to pick up the guys that I was missing. If you want to go back and take a look at these, you can go back and look at my videos. One of my first videos, I think it only has less than 50 views, but I showed the my 2 books of this full of autographs. So here, between the 2 books, I have over 200 Hall of Fame autographs. And I was looking for the ones that I was missing. So let me show you the ones that I picked up. A lot of people haven't seen my videos from the beginning, don't know the whole story on this. But if you want to go back again, like I said, to my old videos, you can take a look at, I talk about this particular set. It's a set that I've been working on for a long, long time. So my goal was to pick up as many of these autographed goal line art cards as possible. Every one of these is authenticated by JSA or by PSA, and it came with the little card in there, which I took out because I put those away somewhere else, because each one of these already has the little authentication stickers on them. And these, again, are limited to 5,000. And usually what happens is when they go to the day of the Hall of Fame induction, these come out. You can buy them at the Hall of Fame, and you get them autographed by the player that is being inducted in the Hall of Fame. And usually they'll do a little signing ceremony right there, and you'll pick some of them up. Or you can get them individually autographed in private signings, or when they go to places like the National and other card shows. So I have the entire set of the unsigned, but I wanted to get every one of these autographed. So with this collection here that I picked up, and I'll show you one of them in a second, I currently have 230 of the Football Hall of Fame inductees autographs. So let me show you what I picked up at the National. So I picked up this Bill Polian. And again, it says it when they were inducted in the Hall of Fame. It says it in the back, 2015 class. And it tells you what they are. Here's one of the owners. So this is the Bill Polian card, autographed. I am getting very close to completing this set. It's very, very difficult. I'm missing a lot of the new guys, you know, just the current players, the ones that were recently inducted, and a few of the ones that were inducted in the old days. I'm still missing Emmitt Smith. And the big one I tried to get was the Walter Payton. That's one of the ones that I'm missing, and it's very, very tough to find. I only found one at the show. And, you know, I checked every table. There was only one autographed goal line art by Walter Payton. And that one, they wanted $800 for it. And I just, I got other stuff instead. I just, you know, I'll keep looking for it. Anyway, this is the Chris Hamburger. This is the Willie Roaf. There's Willie Roaf. I just love these cards. They're beautiful artwork. And they were commissioned by the Hall of Fame to do the artwork. And I just love these cards. I also have the baseball. And if you look at some of the videos, for example, of Mike Monahan, he has a lot of the baseball ones. And so do I. And if you want to go back and look at my autograph baseball celebration set in one of my videos, you'll see those there, the baseball autographs. But these are the football. A lot of people don't know that unless you've been following my videos for a long time, you don't know that, people don't know that this is kind of my secondary, I guess, collection here of football. I don't have a lot of football, but this is one of the collections. This is the Jonathan Ogden. Again, beautiful cards. I just love the artwork on these. This is Walter Jones, inducted in 2014. Again, goal line art, limited to 5,000, but when you get to having them autographs, it's a lot more limited because these have to be hand signed. You know, nothing like this comes out of packs or anything, all hand signed. This is my namesake, Orlando. So it's Orlando Pace. This is the Orlando Pace, class of 2016. Yeah, sure, most of the ones I'm missing are the newer classes. I've got a lot of the older ones, the veterans already. And if you want to see them all, go back to my previous videos. So that's Orlando Pace. This is Curtis Martin, Hall of Famer. Beautiful autograph of Curtis Martin. I just love the pictures. I just love the artwork on this. they do make the artwork kind of representative of the team that they played mostly with, and usually a drawing of kind of an action shot of the person, of the athlete. There's Curtis Martin running with the ball. Here is the bus, Jerome Bettis. So, it tells you about the player, that he started with Notre Dame, and he's a running back, played with the Rams and the Steelers. So I just love the artwork on these cards. So this is the Jerome Bettis, the bus. These are my autograph cards. I do have a nice collection of autographs. I've shown some of them in my videos, but this is the rest of them. This is Richard Dent, another great Hall of Fame player for the Bears. And even though sometimes these players will play for other teams, the Bears, 49ers and all that, they usually will put them in the uniform that that people remember them most by, and that the player wanted to be inducted in. So Richard Dent wanted to be inducted as a Bear, and that's how we remember him. So there's Richard Dent. Here is Cortez Kennedy. Cortez Kennedy, ex-University of Miami player, and I'm from Miami originally, so there it is. College, Miami, Florida. Went to Northwest Mississippi Community College. So this is the Cortez Kennedy autograph, goal line art card. One of the rarer cards to get autographed, one of the toughest ones to get autographed, is this one, Edward DeBartolo Jr. He passed away pretty much right after he was inducted in the Hall of Fame. So there's very few of the DeBartolo. This is the only one that I could find at the show, so I had to pick it up. This was, I think, the most expensive one in the bunch, but I had to pick it up. I needed it for my collection, so there it is. DeBartolo, the owner of the 49ers. Inducted in the Hall of Fame 2016. Unfortunately, he's deceased right now. Passed away. The other ones I've got here is Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells. Incredible coach. Championship coach. Hall of Famer. 2013. Hall of Famer. Bill Parcells. Next, I've got one of my favorite players, Jerry Rice. Inducted in 2010 from Mississippi State, the great 49er, Jerry Rice. There's the Jerry Rice autograph, goal line art card, showing him in one of his famous poses, catching a pass from Joe Montana. Jerry Rice. And the last one of the recent inductees here, Brett Favre. Inducted in 2016. And there's the Brett Favre. Running, pointing, showing who he's going to throw the pass to. So that's another beautiful Brett Favre. These aren't that easy to come by. You have to look around. Most people will get them autographed for their personal collection, and they won't sell them. So I picked up all of these goal line art cards, autographed, and now I have a total of 230 cards of autographed Hall of Famers in my Pro Line Hall of Fame art series. So that's what I got, guys. That's one of my pickups here. So I'm still looking for about 30 more to complete my set. So let's move on to the cards. Let's move on to the cards. So these were my pickups. First of all, and as you know, I'm Cuban originally, so I like to collect Cuban cards. And if you go and look at my videos before, I have some of the rarest and oldest Cuban cards, which are the Cuban T206s, which are called the 1909 Cuban Cabanas. And I was looking for some of those. Unfortunately, I did not even see one at the show, so was not able to purchase any of those. But one of the cards that I was trying to pick up were the 1946 Propaganda Montiel cards. And these are cards that were printed in Cuba. And this is a really nice set. I found a guy that had a whole bunch of commons, and he had the one I was really looking to buy, which was the Stan Musial, but they wanted too much money for the Stan Musial. I only saw a couple of those Musials, and that's basically a rookie. It's a 1946 Stan Musial, so they wanted too much money for it, so I passed on that, and I figured I'd pick up a common because I don't have any of these Propaganda Montiels. So I picked up this guy because his name was Orlando. It was very, very reasonable. And it's from the Havana Cubans. Orlando Moreno. Just a common player from the 1946 Propaganda Montiel. And there it is. And you could see what the card looks like in the back. It's all in Spanish because these cards were printed in Cuba. They're very, very thin stock. So they're very, very delicate cards. I'll kind of see if I can give you a look at that real quick here. They're almost like paper. If you look at it, it's like almost paper thin cards. That's why they're so, so tough. You could almost see right through the card. You see that? Very thin cards. And that's why these cards are so difficult, First of all, because they were printed in Cuba. Second of all, because a lot of the things in Cuba no longer exist. Communism is not a good thing. So anyway, there it is, the Propaganda Montiel card. Common player, but it's Orlando. I'll take it. All right. So next, I got another Cuban card here, Cuban Player. And this one is, as you can see, Orestes Minoso. Some of you may know him as Mini Minoso. Mini was his nickname. His real name is Saturnino Orestes Armas Minoso, because it has an accent on the end. So his real name is Minoso, Orestes Minoso. And to tell you a little bit about him, Mini Minoso is to Latin players what Jackie Robinson is to black players, wrote Orlando Cepeda in his autobiography. Mini is the one who made it possible for us, all us Latins. He was the first Latin player to become a superstar. Saturini Orestes Armas Minoso was born in Perico, Cuba. Minoso grew up on the sugar plantation, and he quickly established himself as a star with the Negro League teams like the New York Cubans. But as a black-skinned Latin American, he was denied the chance to play in the American League or the National League until Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. Then Minoso signed with the Indians just before the 1948 season. So, making his debut at the time, he's acknowledged as the first dark-skinned Latin player to play in the major leagues. So, Mini Minoso essentially is the Jackie Robinson of Latin players. He was the first dark-skinned Latin player to play in the major leagues. So what I was looking for, and I've had this, this card before because I did have the 1953 set, 53 Bowman set, but I ended up selling the set to get some better cards that I needed. but I always wanted to go back and get his card. But what I wanted to do this time is I wanted to find an autographed Minnie Minoso card. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and very few were out there. I was trying to get his rookie card, which is the 52 tops, but I wasn't able to find one. But I did find the 53 Bowman. And as soon as I saw this card, it just stuck right out like a sore thumb. I had to get it. Here it is. Autographed Minnie Minoso, 1953 Bowman. It's a beautiful autograph on the bat. I just love how he autographed that card. And as soon as I saw it, I said, that's the one I'm going to get. So I ended up picking up the autograph Minnie Minoso, or how you really should pronounce it, the Minnie Minoso card. And he was one of the great players. And just to read to you a little bit from his Hall of Fame plaque. And this is what it says on his Hall of Fame plaque. Saturnino Orestes Armas Arieta Minoso. He was called Minnie, and his nickname was the Cuban Comet. The Cuban Comet, Minnie Minoso. His Hall of Fame plaque says, electrifying left fielder from Cuba, blazed the path for generations of Latino ball players to follow as the first dark-skinned Latin American to play in the major leagues. He lifted the Negro League, Negro National League's New York Cubans to 1947 championship before setting American League ablaze with his base running and clutch hitting for the Go-Go White Sox of the 1950s. He led the American League in stolen bases 3 times. He led the league in triples 3 times. While earning 9 All-Star Game selections and 3 Gold Glove awards, he returned to the White Sox to extend his big league career. He is the only player in Major League history to have played a game in 5 decades. Think about that, guys. 5 decades. He played in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and he even batted in the 80s. No other player has ever done that, and I don't think that record will ever be broken. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame. He's a 13-time All-Star. He won a World Series title in 1947, and he's a 3-time Gold Glover. He had a batting average, a 300 lifetime batting average, and the Cuban Comet, Minnie Minoso. He was the Jackie Robinson of the Latin players. So there he is. I always wanted to get his autographed, and I think I picked up a beautiful autograph at the National. So that was another one of my pickups. Next pickup, and a lot of these cards, guys, I got them in trade, and you'll probably see them in some of the other videos of some of the people I traded with. I know this particular one came from Ryan, my buddy Ryan at Breakout Cards. I spent some time with him at the National, and awesome guy. I just, I don't want to mention everybody's name that I spent, but I do have to mention Ryan for Breakout. And I think he put this trade, we did this at trade night, and I picked this Johnny Bench from him. I was looking for a nice Johnny Bench, and I've got the rookie, but I like the single player cards better than the rookies because it's a 2-player, and this is the first card of Johnny Bench by himself with the All-Star Rookie Trophy. So I picked up this in trade, the 1969 Johnny Bench in a 6. It's a nice, beautiful card, beautiful condition. So that was one of my pickups there. My next pickup was One of the players I was focusing on, and one of my favorite players, was Yogi Berra. And Yogi Berra, people don't realize how good this guy actually was. Lawrence Peter Berra, that's his name. And Yogi is really a cultural icon because of his yogiisms. And if you haven't seen his book or bought his book, you need to get it. It's extremely funny, and it says some of his famous sayings. And one of his famous is, everybody's heard it: "It ain't over till it's over." He also said, "A nickel ain't worth a dime anymore," and many, many, many other ones. But not only was Yogi just a colorful character, but Yogi was one of the best players in Yankee history. And if you want to know something about Yogi and how valuable he was, let me just give you one idea here. One thing I got to say about Yogi. Who had the most RBIs for the Yankees during the 1950s? And it was not Mickey Mantle. It wasn't all the great players. It was Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra was essentially one of the most valuable players on the Yankees during the 50s. On his Hall of Fame plaque, it says he played on more pennant winners, 14, than any other player in history. And he has more championships. He has 10 world championship rings, more than any other player in history. He was voted the American League Most Valuable Player in 1951, 1954, 1955. He managed the Yankees to a pennant in 1964. Some of his stats is he was an 18-time All-Star. Again, he won 10 World Series, and he was the MVP of the league 3 times. Not many people can say that. So in my opinion, Yogi Berra, probably one of the most underrated players of all time. And here is his 1954 Bowman card, number 161, in a 6. Again, a nice, beautiful, clean card. You could see how beautiful that card is. You could see the corners on that card, and the centering is just beautiful. A very, very tough card to find, and nicely centered like this from the 1954 set. So this is one of the players I was focused on, and lucky to be able to pick that up. Some of the other ones I picked up were some other Yogi Berra cards. I picked up the 1952 card. Also got this in the trade. Most of these cards that I picked up were trade. I took some really nice stuff over there, and stuff that I had doubled I really didn't want. So I picked it up because I wanted to focus and finish my Yogi Berra run. So here is the 1952 Yogi Berra in a 5. Nicely centered, which is the difficult part of these 52 cards. Pretty nice corners on that. And it's a nice Yogi Berra in a 5. My next pickup was another Yogi Berra. To complete my run here, here's the Yogi Berra rookie card. Again, I want to thank Ryan from Breakout for trading with me on this one. He needed a couple of my Goodwin champions, which I sold. I traded with him. The Buffalo Bill and the Isaac Murphy. He really needed those, so I had those double. I traded those, and I picked up from him the Yogi Berra rookie card, which is a 1948 Bowman Yogi Berra in a 3. Not in the best condition, but it's the Berra rookie, and I really wanted to get one since I didn't have one of these. There he is with his in a batting stance there. The 1948 Yogi Berra rookie card. It's another one of my pickups. So just glad to have it. You know, not the best looking card, black and white, but it's in good condition. As a 3, I'll take it since I didn't have this card. So I got the Yogi Berra rookie. Next, I want to show you one of my next to my best pickup. And this guy here is one of the best players in the history of baseball. And if I were to ask you who has the most doubles of any player in the history of baseball, everybody knows who has the most hits, Pete Rose. Everybody knows who has the most home runs, you know, the best batting average, things like that. But who has the most doubles in the history of baseball? It's Tristan Speaker. I'm going to show you the Tristan Speaker card that I got. And I got the Tristan Speaker rookie card with the rarer polar bear back. A little bit about Tristan Speaker. He was considered the greatest center fielder of his day. He had a lifetime batting average of .344. And just a little bit about Tristan Speaker. This is a quote from Smokey Joe Wood. At the crack of the bat, he'd be off with his back to the infield, and then he'd turn around and glance over his shoulder at the last minute and catch the ball so easy, it seemed like there was nothing to it, nothing at all. By the time Tristan Speaker turned 22, he was already one of the best center fielders of the game. I apologize for the phone ringing. I just do a one-take thing. I don't edit my videos, so I apologize for that. But I just say what I gotta say, and sorry, I don't even know how to edit. I'm a rookie at all this stuff. But anyway, back to Tristan Speaker. Tristan Speaker was a tremendous hitter who could drive the ball into the gaps and down the line. He led the American League in doubles 8 times. He was also a manager during his days. He had a, let's see if I can tell you his lifetime average. He had a lifetime batting average of .345. .345, lifetime average. Here's the Tristan Speaker I picked up, the Tristan Speaker T206 rookie card in a 2 with a polar bear back. There it is. It's a great looking card. It's in great condition. Let's see if I can focus a little bit more for you so you can take a better look at that Tristan Speaker card. The only thing that I saw is has a tiny little crease right along there. And if you can see it there, that's why it was a 2. But it's a nice, clean card of one of the greatest players, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in all of baseball. The most doubles of any player in the history of baseball, Tristan Speaker. Tristan Speaker batted .345 lifetime average. He had over 3,500 hits. He had over 1,500 RBIs. OPS lifetime of .928. And check this out. If you're familiar with the statistic of WAR, he had a career WAR of 134.7. That is just an incredible number. He won an MVP award. He won a batting title, and he won the World Series 3 times. Tristan Speaker, one of the best players of his time, considered to be the best outfielder during his generation, and not just by anybody, but by the players themselves. And I read you the little quote. So if you think about the plays that Willie Mays made, his famous catch, that's Tristan Speaker during those days. Tristan Speaker was the one that actually would make those catch. Of course, there's no films or pictures of any of that, but you know, he retired as the all-time leader in doubles with 792, and it remains on the top of the list. And he actually beat out Ty Cobb for the batting titles. So incredible player. And this is the Tristan Speaker rookie card, the T206, with the polar bear back. I love the polar bear back. It's one of the ones that are full color in the back. And it's not the rarest back for the T206, but it's not the common ones, which are the Piedmont and the Sweet Caparel. So that's the Tristan Speaker I picked up. My biggest pickup, the card that I was looking for the entire show, is the next one that's coming up right now. And this player, this card, by the way, I looked everywhere in the show. I walked, like I said, I walked the entire show. I saw every table at least 2 to 3 times, and I only found 2 of these cards. Why? Because there's less than 70 of these cards that exist. So there were 2 at the show. One of them was graded a 4, and I just couldn't get it. The cheapest he'd go was around $10,000. And even though I had some really nice trade, I couldn't get to that. I didn't have that kind of money. But I did take an 1888 Tim Keefe in a 4, which if you go back to my Goodwin Champions videos, you'll see that card there. I do have a higher graded one, so it was a double. And when I talked to the dealer, you know, they were willing, they wanted it. They wanted it badly. But, you know, one dealer, you know, dealer that had the 4, he was willing to trade, but I couldn't give him that much cash. He was gonna actually offer me $5,000 in trade for my Keefe, but then I'd have to put in another $5,000. I just don't have that kind of money. So I went back to the second choice, which was the other guy that had the Cap Anson, and he had it in a 2. So I went ahead and picked it up. Here it is, the 1895 Mayo Cup Plug N300 Cap Anson in a 2. Only 2 of these were at the National, and I picked up this one here. And this one I did pick it up in trade. I did end up giving him my Tim Keefe 1888. He was very happy to get it, and he actually threw in some cash. So I got this in trade for my Tim Keefe, plus I got back some cash that I was able to use for some other stuff. So here is my big pickup from the National, the Cap Anson from 1895. Less than 75 of these cards exist. And I love that because you could see it's an actual picture of Cap Anson. This is his last playing card. The last card. And just a little bit about Cap Anson. Let me put this down here, kind of zoom in here so you can get a good look at the Cap Anson card while I talk a little bit more about it. Cap Anson, his real name was Adrian Constantine Anson, nicknamed Cap. He's considered the greatest hitter and the greatest major league player of the 19th century. He was it, guys. He was the greatest player of that century. Just like Babe Ruth was the greatest player of the 20th century, Cap Anson was the greatest player of the 19th century. Cap Anson won 5 pennants. He was over 300 lifetime hitter. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, but let me just give you a quick rundown about him. He started when he was 19 years old. He was a big guy at that time. He was 6 foot, 227 pounds. In those days, when he first started in the 1800s, his first year, the National Association was 1871. If you can imagine, back in those days, people were smaller. You know, they were shorter. They were not that big. And here comes this 6 foot, 227 pound strapping right-hander. First year he hits 325. He hit 415 for the Philadelphia Athletics. In 1876, they negotiated a deal with Anson to bring him on to play for Chicago. And he played 22 seasons. And in those 22 seasons, Cap Anson won 4 batting titles. He has a lifetime batting average of 334, lifetime batting average. And he played over 20, let's see exactly, he played 27 years. He played. Can you imagine playing 27 years and ending up with a 334 batting average lifetime? Incredible player. Considered the best player of the century. He was the first player and the only player for a long time to hit over 3,000. The first player to have over 3,000 hits. He ended up with 3,435 hits. He had a lifetime WAR of almost 100. So that's Cap Anson, considered the greatest player of his time. And I'm very lucky to have very glad to have this 1895 Mayo Cup plug, Cap Anson. Very, very rare card. And that's the kind of cards I collect. That's what I like. I was looking for this card at the show. This was my #1 card to go for. And I'm just lucky to pick it up. And the best thing about it, I got it in trade and I got cash back. So anyway, guys, there it is. My big pickup from the National, the Cap Anson 1895 Mayo card. So guys, just want to thank everyone for watching my videos. Show you some of the stuff real quick that I got. And again, the best thing about the show was not the cards. It was the people that I met, the people that I talked to, all of the YouTubers that accepted me like family, that took me in, hugged me, plugged my shows, plugged my channel, offered to buy me drinks. I mean, what a team. What a team. I am so glad I started my YouTube channel, because I got to know all of these wonderful, wonderful people. You know who you are, guys. I'm not going to start naming names because obviously I'll forget some of you. But anyway, thanks for watching my videos. That's my those are my pickups from the National. Those and these, my pickups from the Nationals. So I just want to thank everybody. Everybody have an awesome day, and please like and subscribe and continue to watch my videos. I got a lot more cards to show you in the future and a lot more videos to do. So thank you so much, everyone. Sorry the video was long, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the players that I picked up and why. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome day. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream.